Hello, good evening, everyone. Welcome to day 61 of our third session this year called Deepening the Silence. I'm Prashant Sopori, your host this evening, joining you from Detroit, Michigan. As you all know, our ongoing theme has been transformation. Now, again, as usual, we'll be doing our foot soaking this evening. So, a very quick reminder, if you have not already done that, please gather your foot soaking apparatus at this point. If you are new or continuing, you can review the course materials and recordings on our website. If you require some mentoring help, you can request for a mentor. Now, when we met this Tuesday, we talked about not reacting and the opening of the Agya Chakra. Today, we'll be spending some time being in Sahasrara, which is our seventh energy center and the final culmination of truth. Today's agenda will talk about the topic of the day, followed by some foot soaking and meditation. Then we'll be viewing a video of Shri Mataji addressing the topic of the day, followed by some fantastic music and meditation, and then our second guided meditation. And then lastly, we'll be concluding this evening with presenters sharing and Q&A. With that, I would like to now introduce the presenters and the musician for this evening. I would love if Wendy and Kalyan can come on and introduce themselves. Wendy, why don't you go first?
Hi, it's wonderful to be here tonight. I'm Wendy from Los Angeles, and tonight's topic is very dear to my heart because at Sahasrara we all feel our connection to each other. It's like the greatest connection. So.
Hi everyone, this is Kalyan Gopalakrishnan. I'm from the Hartford, Connecticut area, and I'm going to be playing some violin tonight, and I'm going to be playing a raga for the center, the Sahasrara. It's called the Rag Bhairavi.
Absolutely. Oh, fantastic. Then that's the raga for Sahasrara. Fantastic. Thank you so much, Kalyan and Wendy. We'll talk to you guys soon. Yeah. All right. So on Tuesday, when we met, we talked about not reacting, and we heard Shri Mataji say that mind is a myth, and we have to go beyond the mind to recognize the absolute truth, the reality. Now, what is this beyond the mind? Mind obviously is tainted by our ego and superego, constantly, creating an illusion for us. Once we cross this agya, we enter the realm of Sahasrara. And Sahasrara is contained within our limbic area and is the complete integration of all the six energy centers below, which are located across our subtle system. So if we see at the back of the head, that's where we have the Muladhara. Around it, we have the Swadhisthana, which is our second energy center. Then as we go up, right where our back of the head converges into the top, that's where we have the Nabhi, the third energy center. And then right next to the fontanel region, where Mother Kundalini emerges from when she penetrates the Sahasrara, that's where resides the heart. Right where our hairline starts, we have the Vishuddhi, the fifth energy center, and the sixth Agya is here. So all six energy centers, they have their seats, or in Sanskrit, as we refer to them as pithas, they are like the command center for the energy centers. They all reside in our Sahasrara. And Sahasrara is a hollow space, and all the 1,000 nerves are located along the lining of the Sahasrara. And when the Mother Kundalini, she penetrates, she enlightens all these 1,000 nerves. And hence the name Sahasrara, because in Sanskrit, the word Sahasra means 1,000. And Sahasrar is 1,000-petal lotus, which gets enlightened with the awakening of the Mother Kundalini into our Sahasrara. And it is at that point, the seeker has his or her first interaction with the truth. Until that point, the truth is relative because it's tainted by either our ego or superego. So your truth could be different from my truth because It has got this reflection of our ego, our conditionings, all those areas. So once we are into Sahasrara, that's when, we are able to experience the full integration of our physical, spiritual, our psychological being. And this is where Shri Mataji has described, it is the blessings of the heaven. This is where you finally realize who you truly are. You recognize the divinity within you. And it is through the efforts of Shri Mataji that this unique method of self-realization was devised, using which in their lifetime, the seekers can recognize the opening of Sahasrara and have this union with the divinity. So today's focus is going to be about experiencing this space to the extent possible. So we'll try and experience that space of thoughtless awareness, which is one of the key qualities of Sahasrara. Once we get to Sahasrara, we experience that state for a prolonged period. So with that said, let's embark onto our foot soaking this evening. I hope you all have your foot soaking tubs ready. So let's settle ourselves down. We'll close our eyes and try and get our attention onto the top of our head and just focus our attention there without any effort. Mother Kundalini does everything, so we just need to pray to her. Mother Kundalini, allow me to experience the thoughtless state. Please give me the state of meditation. Please take me beyond my conditionings, beyond my ego. And we will watch ourselves like a third person, just witnessing our attention. And just watching our attention on top of our head. Keeping our attention there, we will now raise our Kundalini and put ourselves in Bandhan. So very slowly, just watch the center of your left palm and raise your Kundalini. Stretch your head back. Tie the first knot. Two knots. And three. Now we can put ourselves in Bandhan. And let's just give a quick 7 swirls on our foot soaking tub just to vibrate the water. And then we can submerge our feet into the foot soaking tub. And be as relaxed as possible. Just watch yourself. We'll start off by placing both our hand towards Mother Earth and bring our attention to the first energy center of Muladhara. We'll just extend our attention down our spine to the first energy center. And we'll pray to Mother Kundalini. Mother Kundalini, please give me the innocence and purity of attention. Please give me the wisdom to recognize my own divinity. Mother, please awaken yourself and guide my ascent. We'll bring both our hands in our lap and we'll gradually raise our attention, just witnessing our attention along our spine. We'll allow it to go all the way up to our Agya, to our sixth energy center. And we'll place our right hand across our forehead, and we can bend our head gently forward and rest in our palm. And here we pray to Mother Kundalini. Mother Kundalini, please remove all my negative conditionings, mental blocks, fears. Please remove all my ego and association with self. Mother, I forgive all my thoughts and desires that give me these associations. I forgive every one of them. Please take me beyond my Agya into the Sahasrara. Now we bring our right hand onto our right side of our head, which represents the left of Sahasrara, as our channels cross at the Agya. So this is the left of our Sahasrara. And here we assert with complete confidence in our divinity, Mother Kundalini, by your grace, I am a divine being and I am capable of overcoming all the challenges in the path of my ascent coming from left side. Mother Kundalini, I recognize the divinity within me, and as a result, by your grace, I am powerful enough to overcome all the challenges from my left side. Now bring our right hand back in our lap and we'll put our left hand on the left side of our head, which represents the right Sahasrara. And here we affirm with a sense of conscious surrender, Mother, you verily are the divine force within me. I surrender myself completely onto you. And you verily are the destroyer of all the challenges coming in the path of my ascent from the right side. I recognize you as divine. I recognize you as the power that removes all the challenges in the path of my ascent. We bring our left hand down and now we place the center of our right palm on the very center, on the very top of our head, the fontanel area where the soft part is when we are born. We gently press the center of our palm, which is also the position of Sahasrara on our hands. We press that area right on our Sahasrara. And with a gentle pressure, we give a right clockwise rotation to our scalp. And we pray to Mother. Mother Kundalini, please establish my self-realization. Please establish my union with the divine. Please make me one with the all-pervading. We allow our attention to fully unify with the touch of our hand on Sahasrara, just complete union with that touch. Please establish my self-realization. We gradually raise our right hand above our head. Allow our attention to completely fill in the space between our head and the hand. You can bring our right hand back on our lap. Now, watching our attention on top of our head, we'll recite the mantra of Sahasrara. You can take a look at the mantra on the screen here. So the way it goes is Om Tameva Sakshat Shri Sahasrara Chakra Swamini Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namah. So you can recite it with me, keeping your attention completely stationed on top of your head. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Sahasrara Chakra Swamini Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. Just feel the resonance of this mantra on top of your head. And we'll just stay in silent meditation for a couple of minutes, just watching our attention. We'll maintain this state and rinse our feet and get ready to watch a video of Shri Mataji where she talks about the ego, how it's a joy killer, and we need to go beyond the ego. So we can just keep our foot soaking tub aside after rinsing.
Because Buddha just did that. From everywhere he collected people, told them to follow a path of detachment, and he asked them to wear clothes and things which are for detachment, and he asked that you should detach yourself from your families, everything. All this he did for one thing, that they should be prepared for today's life. That they have done all these things. We don't want you to wear orange dresses. We don't want you to do all these wrong things, which are not needed today. They were all right in those days, but today they are wrong because they are not needed. When it is not needed, why should you carry on your head? Like the other day, I saw somebody carrying a big boat on his head. I said, what are you doing? So I'm carrying the boat. For what? Why are you carrying the boat? Said, you see, I know there is no need to carry the boat here because there is no sea, no water, nothing. But I'm just carrying. But why are you carrying this load upon your head? No, because I'm carrying, you know. That is how we are. We are carrying on with things which are not needed. Like Mother, now I've been doing Hatha Yoga. Should I do some Hatha Yoga? Why do you want to do it? There is no need for you. No, no, Mother, but I've been doing it. Do it now, what to do? It's as stupid as this carrying a boat on your head. That whatever is not needed, unnecessarily wasting your time. I am used to this, Mother, I used to do this, so I must do it. Everything is made very easy for you, sir. Very simple. You don't have to starve, you don't have to fast, you don't have to become vegetarians, you don't have to go and sit in the sun or meditate on Himalayas, nothing of the kind. Comfortably you can sit down wherever you like and you can meditate. Everything made easy. And once you have found out your spirit, you can enjoy everything that is beautiful. On the whole, maybe for some people this is really too much. In a Sahara desert, you are sitting, everything blowing on your head. What is this? How can we live here? Such a rough life. You don't feel that way because you have the comfort of the spirit within you. It's the comfort of the spirit. And for the comfort of spirit, you don't need anything. That's what you have. So do not carry on with nonsensical things. Because Buddha went round and round as we came today to this program, I was just thinking like Buddha. Going from this end, again coming from this end, then I couldn't find it, then that end, then coming this way. Ultimately we reach a this is blocked. I said, give him a bandha. Finished. Open. So this was blocked, that was blocked, go this way, that way. All right, it was blocked for him. So he went round and round. But it's not blocked for you. Why do you want to go round and round again? But that is what today everybody wants to do the same way. We must sacrifice, we must give up this, we must do that. What are you going to sacrifice? What is there to sacrifice? I would like to know, Sahaja Yoga. Of course, mostly people sacrifice their brains, I think. When nothing is to be sacrificed, why do you want to become a goat of sacrifice? So from Buddha's life, you don't have to learn that he went in the jungles and he did this and he did also renunciation, he gave up his wife. No, that's not needed now. That's over. This is where we fail and we cannot explain to people that those who say, but we must have renunciation. Renunciation we have from within, like the sand as I told. Detachment we have from within. But this is compassion. Pure compassion is the most detached. It's the most detached thing is the pure compassion. Or anything pure is pure because it is detached. It's a proper mathematics. Anything that is pure has to be detached. If it is attached, it is contaminated. See the logic? Absolute mathematics is there. If you have pure love, then you are detached. Now supposing you love mother, or I take that. Now you have, say, pure love for her. Then you won't get angry if I don't come to your house. You won't feel disappointed if I can't sit in your car. You won't feel unhappy because I could not touch your sari. No. Because I just love mother, finished. It ends up there, just pure love. Of course I know these weaknesses, so I try to please you, all right. But actually if you really love me, It's alright, I love her. And she loves me, finished. Whether she comes to my house or not, whether she gives me a present or not, whether she pats me or not, whether I can see her or not, whether I can meet her or not, makes no difference, I love her. That's the purity of love. Where there's no expectation of any kind, except that I love, and that love is the ocean of enjoyment and the ocean of bliss. Finished. It's the easiest thing to do, is to love. Just love. How your heart is like an ocean. I just love. The sea is not attached to any shore. When it has to come, it comes out. When it has to go back, it goes. When it has to give water for the rain, it gives. The water goes as the clouds are formed, then the water falls as rain. Again it comes back to the sea. It doesn't stop anywhere. In the same way, if we just think, is the feeling I have that I love Mother, what a feeling it is. That should be the end of everything, absolute. I feel the same way, otherwise I would be feeling every day guilty. Oh, I didn't smile at that, I didn't give present to this one, I should have brought something special for that person, I was late for the program. But I don't feel guilty because it's all managed. If I had come earlier, all these hecklers would have been there to trouble us. So all the horrible people disappeared and we had the right people. Then I sat down through. I didn't say I'm going back. There is no need to be nervous. If Mother is late, there must be some plan. If she is early, there must be some plan. If she is going by this plane and not by the other, there must be some plan. Not to doubt it. If she is doing something, must be some plan. You know, Mother has her own plans. It's a nice idea to think like that. She has her own plans, you know. Once you start feeling that way, such security and such beautiful peace will spread in your being, and you will be quite satisfied. Now everybody brings food for me. Look at that, when I see that I get a fright, Baba. I mean, look at that, eh? I was supposed to test it, but even testing will be so much. But I have to eat, you know, because if I don't touch one of them, then they will think, why didn't Mother touch? Must be something else. This is a very big problem for me, to keep you happy and to assure you, but I assure you that I love you all very much. Whether you bring food for me or flowers for me or anything, does not matter. When I am leaving Bogota, my heart is wrenching out. I see the wrench of my heart, I see. Because I am leaving all the new babes there. That's all. Then I just don't want to face, the thing. I feel, oh God, just see, I am leaving them. But because I love them. So I see, because I love them, I feel it. It's all right. Even this pain is all right, because I love them. I enjoy that pain, because I love them. And then I come here and see all of you standing at the airport. Whole thing is fulfilled again. Just not because you have come, because I have come to love you. All this is such a beautiful rapport and such a beautiful feeling. I want you all to enjoy this and not petty things and small things which spoil your joy. These are all joy killers. And that's why the greatest joy killer is the ego nonsensical, which tells you, oh, why didn't mother do this or do that? It's the ego part of it. That's why we have to think of Buddha and celebrate his Jayanti within ourselves to establish him, to say that this ego cannot take away our joy. Anywhere such idea just comes into your head, tell them, now Mr. Ego, I know you very well. In the light of Buddha, you can see your ego very clearly. And he is the killer of your ego. He is the one who finishes off your ego. So today, we have to pray for the whole of America, which is really suffering from this nonsensical, mythical ego, which is being exploited by everyone. People are befooling them, the media is befooling, all the doctors are befooling, all the psychologists are befooling, all the governments are befooling. I mean, I don't know, everybody is befooled because they have got ego. If they had no ego, they could not have been befooled. All these advertisements and all this hocus pocus that's going on is because human beings have ego and they can't see. So we have to say, Mother, please take away this curse of ego from Americans and America.
Let's stay in meditation silently for a couple of minutes. And let's try to keep our attention gently in the Sahasrara.
So beautiful, so heart opening. So let's take a moment to just put our awareness, our attention, our focus in our heart. We can take our right hand, if it helps, and put it over the center of our chest. This is one of the simplest ways to go deeper, to go more quiet. Because when the heart completely opens, so much of the Kundalini rises that it clears everything in its path. And we go to Sahasrara. So in this meditation, we're going to see if we can feel our chakras, at least the heart chakra and the chakras in the head. Some of us we feel our chakras in our hands. Some of us can feel the chakras in our body. But the way we sensitize ourselves is to put our awareness on it. So let's use our hand, follow our hand into the heart chakra, which is just below it. And let's just step back and see, what do I feel there? Where the heart chakra is, what am I feeling? Do I feel vibrations moving? What is it? We can take the hand and move it to the left side of the chest, the left heart. Again, what do we feel if we follow our hand into the chakra, into our physical heart? Can we feel vibrations moving in our heart? Can we feel places where the vibrations don't go? Do the vibrations flow up to one point and stop, but you know there's parts that can't be reached? So let's desire in our hearts that the vibrations flow through our entire left heart, physical heart. We're going to take the right hand down. I'm going to put the left hand on the right side of our chest, above our right heart. Allow our hand to guide us. Into our right heart chakra. What do we feel in that space? Maybe we can feel vibrations from our left hand flowing into the heart chakra. Maybe we can feel vibrations flowing from our center heart into the right heart. Let's just watch. We step back a little distance and just see, what do we feel? Now let's take both our hands and put them palm up in our lap and widen our focus to the entire heart. Can we feel our entire heart chakra? Now, at the same time, let's go ahead and we're going to put our right hand on the center heart, but have our attention in our entire heart, center, left, and right. And we're going to keep that hand there and put our attention at the Sahasrara, at the top of our head, and feel the connection between our heart and Sahasrara. Now let's take our hands both up, palm up in our lap, and just take a nice deep breath in. Our heart opens when we take the breath, so we take a nice deep, slow breath in, hold it for a few seconds, and then exhale. Let's do this 2 more times. Now, we're going to keep our eyes closed, very relaxed face, relaxed eyes. Just allow your jaw to be relaxed, your entire face to be relaxed. And we're going to take the right hand and put it on the right side of our head. And we get pressure here because our left side channel doesn't flow easily. Because our emotions don't flow, our memories don't flow in a positive way. So let's take a moment and just desire to have this positive, amazing relationship with our memories and allow our memories that are filled with vibrations or filled with positivity, allow those memories to comfort us and to buoy us. So we want that, and we want to be able to feel our beautiful feelings, our love, our joy. We want that positive relationship with that beautiful, sparkly left side channel. Let's just desire that in our hearts. Keep our hand here. We can just put our attention very gently in the right side of our brain. Just give this vibrations, allow the vibrations to flow. The petals of all the chakras can relax. Such a beautiful desire to be free inside, to feel good. So let's take the right hand down, palm up in the lap. And we'll take the left hand and put it on the left side of our head. We can just put our focus, a very gentle focus, in the left side of our brain and see how does that feel. And here we really want to allow Buddha's example to us to guide us into this place of letting go. His example of realizing I don't have to do anything. I don't have to fix anything. I can just have peace inside. So let's go ahead and desire for that peace inside. We can just allow our attention to be in the left side of our brain. And see if we can allow the chakra to relax. We might be able to feel some vibrations inside. Near where our hand is, we might be able to feel, sometimes people will feel like a little, almost like oil drips on their head or water dripping on their head. You might be able to feel little popping sensation in your brain, and those are petals of our Sahasrara opening. Okay, let's bring the right hand to the right side of the head, and we're just going to hold both sides of our head at the same time, and we're going to put our attention between our two hands in this beautiful space of the vibrated brain. Let's step back a little and see, what does it feel like? What does that brain feel like? There's two chakras here, Agnya, Sahasrara. How does it feel? Can I feel them? Let's just desire to free our brains, to free ourselves. Okay, let's put the hand down. Put our attention at Sahasrara. We'll just sit for a few minutes of quiet. So now let's go ahead and raise up our kundalinis. We can keep our eyes closed and see what we feel inside as we do it. And tie it up. You may be able to feel an extra strand of the kundalini coming up and being tied up. And if we tip our head back, when we tie up the kundalini, we may feel more vibrations flowing through the throat chakra, the Vishuddhi. And let's give ourselves a bandhan. And now we can go back to you, Prashant.
Well, thank you, Wendy. This was beautiful, so vibrationally engaging. Very hard to come back from there. Well, and then also Kalyan, that was absolutely mesmerizing, so thank you both for your, engaging experience here of the Sahasrara. So next we will talk about some key announcements. So as we all know, we have been part of this 21-day series, and we are in the session 3, Deepening the Silence, which began on May 2nd. And we'll be culminating this phase on next Tuesday, on June 18th. We'll be taking a 3 weeks break at that point from June 19th to July 10th. And then starting July 11th, we will embark on the part 1 of our session 4, which will be the joy of the spirit. That will again, just like the previous 3 sessions, it will be held on Sunday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. And in the interim, our alternate collective foot soak and meditations will continue. There is no break there, so we can continue joining those on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 8:45 p.m. New York time, using the same Zoom link. This coming Sunday, we'll meet again, and we'll be talking about declaring our chakras. And it was part of our Deepening the Silence. We'll be focusing on our chakras and getting to a state of silence there. Program resources, we can access them 3 different ways. We can request a mentor, fill out the form, post it here in the Zoom chat. We can join the WhatsApp community group. And we can also go to live sessions and links for all our recordings, this one and all the previous ones at us.sahajayoga.org/Jan 2024. You can request the breakout room help and meet a Sahaja Yoga teacher who can guide you. You can write to the chat Q&A, or you can write to me, the MC, with any questions that you have that you want our presenters to answer as we now get into our next phase of this meeting today, the presenter sharing. And I'll welcome back Wendy and Kalyan. Thank you.
Hi, Prashant.
This was fantastic. Just was so engaging. Had a fantastic time. So, to begin with, I think one of the key things to experiencing Sahasrara is to navigate the journey through Agya. I think that's always one of the big challenges that we face. So I was wondering if you want to share some experiences where you felt that you were stuck at Agya, and what was that experience of getting to Sahasrara after, trying to navigate that? So I don't know, maybe Wendy, you want to go first, and then after that, Kalyan, you can share your thoughts.
I'm in the hot seat, Kalyan. You have a few minutes, a minute to figure something out. For me, when I've I'm fairly centered. My husband's accused me of being actually centered. But when I fall off of that, it's always when I'm trying to be the doer. I'm trying to fix something, and it's usually not about myself. It's when someone I love is having a hard time, and I think somehow I should be able to fix it. And usually it doesn't help. You know, the fact that I'm not detached and that I'm over here kind of worrying or whatever. And I found that I just have to remind myself that I can't fix anything. I'm just a normal, flawed human being. It's beyond my ability, and I'm really much more helpful if I'm a channel. So if I can just surrender it to, you know, the divine, to something higher than myself, just surrender that it and trust that it will work out, and then that's when, you know, the Agnya clears, basically, for me.
Absolutely. How about you, Kalyan?
Yeah, so I mean, it's very common for me to try to solve problems by using the thinking. It's very common to get into that, and then it's a little tiring, right? You try to figure things out with your brain, and nothing seems to work, and you use logic and this and that, but ultimately there comes a point where you realize it's futile, and you realize it's important to just get into that state. And as you go through that experience, you feel that you you tend to use that strategy because that's the strategy that works. Because if you can just witness and get the attention to the Sahasrara and just experience meditation for some time, you just see in front of your eyes that things kind of sort themselves out. So that's a pretty common experience that I've had.
I think a key thing that you used over there was exhaustion, and I believe that is a key sign when you're stuck with Agya.
Hmm.
You're trying to mentally navigate certain things. I mean, there is, of course, tons of examples that I can share, where, I was, I kind of realized as an afterthought that I was really trying to mentally, figure something out. And then a moment you give up or sort of surrender, and then things just fall in place. And then you kind of realize the trap that you were caught into.
Hmm.
And then I will say one thing about Sahasrara is that when you surrender, it sort of takes over, you
Hmm.
know. One example, of course, there is like a tons of examples, and I fall prey to this agya almost on a daily basis. But one example that kind of jumps out to me is this is probably about maybe good 5 years, 6 years back, and I had to go for an event in Florida. It was a very large event, and I was supposed to present there to a very large audience, and the whole time I was driving to the airport, getting on the airplane, I was thinking about it, that okay, the 10 different ways how I can frame my arguments. And I'll tell you one thing that unique happened as the plane was landing in Miami. This head just completely was filled. It just all of a sudden there was like a release from here. And from that point, I will tell you this, I got to the meeting. It was a breeze. I can't even explain in words how everything kind of unraveled from that point on. And to me, that was an example of Sahasrara taking over. Because it was at one point I said, okay, I think I'm done looking at it 5 different ways. I'm done. And the moment I said that, and plane was just about landing, and just whole space kind of filled up, and the swirling began on the top, and it was just a breeze from that point on. So to me, that is one example where I felt a release. Yeah.
And the solution that your Sahasrara has for everything is so much better than your brain. Like when you're trying to think it out, if you just are able to go to Sahasrara, something magical that you would have never imagined happens and fixes it. And that's this magic moment where you gain faith or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, and I think the key thing is that you don't feel exhausted. You could be managing a multitude of things, and you don't feel exhausted. You just look back on the day and say, oh my God, I just accomplished so much today, and I'm still feeling fresh like a baby, and I think that's the magic of Sahasrara. So I guess maybe probably a good segue for our audience over here would be to understand, how do we know that we are at Sahasrara? Is there like a sign? Maybe Kalyan, if you want to start this time first, how do we kind of recognize that part?
Yeah, so for me, when I'm in Sahasrara, I feel the silence within, right? So it is like you're not so disturbed because we are very much used to being disturbed. So it is quite an event for us to get that silence.
Mhm.
That's one. The other is I feel the vibration going all the way up here. And I feel that for the attention to stay over in this space becomes very effortless.
Yeah.
And so those are the signs that I'm in Sahasrara. And the mind is so clear, and you feel very confident, you feel very calm, and you feel that overwhelming sense of joy, right? That keeps bubbling from within you, right? There is no reason for it, but it's just there.
Yeah,
So those are the signs.
absolutely. How about you, Wendy?
Well, that's a lovely, lovely description. I had an interesting experience where I was leading a meditation at our center. And it was a large group of people, and there was someone who'd meditated for at least I don't know, 20 years, very dedicated to meditating. And she came in and she said, I'm not enjoying my meditation, and I want you to help me. And in the end, we got down to the bottom of it, was that she was confusing heavy left side, which is where you are so far out in the left that you can't even think. You can't even rub two thoughts together because you are heavy or depressed or having too much activity in the left side. And she had been confusing that for thoughtless awareness or being at Sahasrara. And the big difference between that is there's a real lightness inside to being in this central channel and to being thoughtless and actually at Sahasrara where you're thoughtless, not just heavy. It's a very different feeling. So if you are experiencing, when you sit down and meditate, as you're not thinking, but you're not feeling joyful, like Kalyan's described, you're not feeling, like the vibrations up here, you're not feeling your attention pulled here automatically, it just pulls there, right? If that's not happening, then turn on the lights, go for a walk before you sit to meditate, activate yourself, get yourself more active, a little bit more to the right side so you can come to the center and hopefully experience that. And your mentors can help with that a little bit.
Both are so, I would say, those are such comprehensive details. So I don't know if I really have anything to add over here. I will just say, just to kind of iterate, that sense of being comfortable with yourself, right? I mean, you know who you really are. I mean, almost becoming conscious of your own divinity, and then at the same time having this sense of surrender to this power, and that kind of makes you completely calm and peaceful. And in terms of experience, I guess you both said, right, sort of an icy feeling starts to develop on top of your head, or you feel that fountain kind of coming out of your head, right? So those are, I would say, experiential. But in terms of consciousness, yes, you become non-reactionary. You just observe things, and things start to shape up and work out. And so that, I would say, would be a good sign. So in terms of techniques, what are some of the ways you feel that one can get to Sahasrara? I think you started to touch on that a little bit, Wendy, already going down that path. So what can folks try to get to Sahasrara?
Are you asking me
Yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
answer?
Maybe if you
Oh,
can just
okay.
elaborate on that a little bit more where you were earlier. Yeah.
It seems like, especially when you're newer and you're learning to meditate, that to first work on the heart. and get and it's simpler. It's a little simpler to just work on the heart because it's below Agni and you don't have to deal with all that, whatever's going on in your head. And just put your attention in your heart and listen to your heart, clear your heart. And what you can often find is that the heart opens and then the Kundalini comes up with so much strength, because the Kundalini is a rope. It's got many strands. So more and more of the Kundalini that comes up, it just gets up to Agni and it just pushes the pressure away, pushes the balloons away. Usually what happens is we're either more of an egotist or we have, harsh feelings towards ourselves. So we have super ego issues and it blows up. Like if we're an egotist, we get this big balloon and the balloon comes over the top of the Sahasrara and covers it, right? So that's not fun. You can't go quiet with your big old ego up there. So what happens is the Kundalini will just come up with a strength that just brings the ego down, and there you are, just sitting very comfortably at the Sahasrara in your chair up there. This is the beginning. This is where it starts. This isn't the end point. This is where collective consciousness and connection begins, and you can go then further and further into that. And that's where we want to be. We want to be exploring all that and not just this. If we can.
How about you, Kalyan? Do you have some nuggets for us?
Yeah, so one of the things is forgiveness. And very often, right, when somebody is communicating to us and it's kind of an uncomfortable situation, they're saying harsh things and things like that, we tend to react and we tend to form kind of some words in our head that we could use in response. So instead of getting into that process, if we just watch and forgive, there have been situations where I have just tried this. Somebody is talking very harsh to me and I just smile, and then I just put my attention there and I just decide consciously that I'm not going to react. And then in front of my eyes, they calm down, right? It just happens. And so that is one thing that I have. And I feel that this forgiveness is equally important with ourselves, because a lot of times our own mind keeps generating these thoughts about ourselves. Oh, this was not right, and so on, right? So it's important to forgive them as soon as they start, and then kind of releases that tension immediately.
Yeah. Fantastic. Yeah. Along similar lines, I think one thing that really works for me is watching the attention, almost like looking at your own self like in a third person, and to me, that makes me thoughtless instantly. Moment I'm kind of looking at it, and I take this lead from one of the lectures of Shri Mataji, where she says that it is a spirit that is watching. So when you're watching your attention, at that moment you become the spirit, because that is sort of carrying the attention. And that to me instantly puts me into that zone of Sahasrara, where with the vibrations, they start flowing and you start feeling that you're going beyond Agya. So that really works well. All right, excellent. I think those were the questions that I see here, but I don't know if there is anything else from the audience. I don't see anything in my chat window here, but if there is anything else, we can certainly help answer that. But that's all I had. Yeah. Well, thank you everyone for your time today, and really appreciate. It was a fantastic session. Thank you all. Take care. Have a good evening.